Yeah, buddy! Welcome to another edition of Stefan Reed's Line News. I am Stefan. I am a tarento, represented by Yoshimoto Kogyo, the largest entertainment conglomerate in Japan. But don't let that stop you from listening. I am barely employed by them, I should say. So, anyways, this is a little thing that we like to do every single day where I read my Line News tab to you, the listener. Line is, of course, the biggest messaging app in Japan. Everyone here uses it, and it has its own little Line News app tab thing that normally pumps out nothing but posts about celebrities posting pictures on Instagram. But for sometimes it gives you interesting stories. Let's check what we have today. And today, by the way, is the 17th of August, 2022, the year of the devil. So, if this is your first time listening, Line News has it has two rows of just random fluff stories that are like the biggest stories on this tab, or on this little Line News front page thing. They have pictures and headlines underneath them, and then they have the actual news headlines buried between those, like a sandwich. But we'd like to start out with the fluffy news stories that are generally just wastes of time. Let's look at story number one here today. Number one is just a summary of an upcoming segment for a popular TV show. Yeah, so tonight, Wednesday, is the normal air date for Waratte Koraete, which is a pretty popular show. It's been going on for a long while, hosted by Tokoro Joji, and this is a show where they have people they have people go to random parts of Japan and typical TV stuff. But their new segment, which is what's getting the press here, is Fuwachan, the popular YouTuber, is toasting the summer at Enoshima's beach in a new happy corner. So Fuwachan got popular like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, right before COVID hit. On YouTube. She's one of the first Japanese people that really embraced YouTube after she got kicked out of Nabe Pro, which is another Japanese comedy entertainment agency. And so she's going to have this new segment on the show where she goes to the beach at Enoshima. Enoshima is it's like a resort area, probably about an hour south of Tokyo. It's pretty. It's where all the Yankees go to hang out during the summer, or at least that's my image of it. I'm sure there's lots of families and everything that go there too, but it's a lot of yancha, loud party people kind of. It's where all the juvenile delinquent girls hang out. It's like where all those pornos where get filmed and stuff. Anyways, so she went to Enoshima and she's toasting. She has a beer server on her back and she's toasting the summer with people that she meets there on the beach. And that is apparently a news story today. Just to I don't know why we start out with that one. Story number two is an 8-year-old boy in Niigata drowns along with his 69-year-old grandfather during a day at the ocean. So yeah, it's the second consecutive beach story. This one's unfortunately not good. Apparently this 8-year-old kid was swept out to sea, and his 69-year-old grandfather went out to swim after him to try to get him, and he also drowned. They're about 400 meters away from the beach, or from the shore. So, and that's where they confirmed that he was dead. So, yeah, be careful when you're out in the ocean. I know this goes without saying, but people will do dumb things anyways. Watch your kids when you go to the beach. Don't go out into the deep water if you don't know how to swim / aren't wearing a life preserver or anything. Generally, that's generally what you need to do when you go to the ocean. And Japan, I don't know if this is just because Japan has nothing better to report, but every single year it seems like there's just dozens of drowning cases every single day, or every week during the summer season. This says this family was from Saitama. So I guess they're probably in Niigata on vacation. So not great, not good. Anyways, story number 4. Moving on from drowning in the water, pretty much anything's better than that story. Number 3, Darvish Yu's wife posts a picture from their wedding on their anniversary date. Yep, not exactly a barn burner of a story, but yeah, Darvish Yu, who's a MLB pitcher, is married to a former wrestling champion, like a wrestling champion, Yamamoto Seiko. And their anniversary is on the 17th, which is today, which is also my little sister's birthday. Happy birthday to her. And so she posted a picture from their wedding. She's apparently pregnant with their 5th kid, which is that's quite a lot for a Japanese couple. And so, yeah, happy anniversary to them. And, yeah, all the best. Anyways, number 4 is another semi-fluff piece. It is a story about Exile's Kuroki Kenji discussing his pending retirement. So Exile is one of the big dance vocal units. They don't call them idol units because for a long time Johnny's Entertainment had a monopoly on that word, especially in terms of men. So Exile skirted around that by being a dance vocal unit. Because for years Johnny's would exert its power and force TV shows and network, music shows to not air any non-Johnny's male idol unit on their show. So they'd be like, if you show this other idol unit that's not Johnny's, we won't let our Johnny's talent on your show, and that'll tank your ratings, won't it? And that sort of threat would cause TV shows to capitulate and kick other idol groups off their shows. So Exile got through that by pretending that they were in fact not an idol group, but were a dangerous dance vocal group, blatantly profiting off of African American culture. So anyways, Kuroki is retiring after the end of their current Exile 20th anniversary live tour, Red Phoenix, which is by far one of the most charai names you could possibly come up with for a tour. So he was at an event promoting this tour and talked about how he's retiring and all that good stuff, and how it's tough on him, but it's probably for the best. All right, now that the stories about retirements and drownings and TV segments and anniversaries are all out of the way, let's get to the actual news stories today. So let's start with number 1. Number 1, so as you know, we've been dealing with heavy rain in Hokkaido for the last couple of days, probably for the entire week. Today, we have a news warning about heavy rains coming to Kyushu, which is the complete other side of Japan, until the 18th of this month, so tomorrow. There's going to be heavy rains, and there's also they say that you need to be very extra diligent about landslides in Kyushu. So yeah, the heavy rain and everything that it brings moved on from the north of Japan, and it's now a something that the people of the south part of the country have to deal with. So yeah, the weather is not great here. Number 2, the second of the top 3 news stories that Line News decided to give me today, is so Japan has a negative trade deficit for the 12th straight month, and it is $10 billion in the red this year, or this month in particular, or not this month, but July, I should say. And they attribute this to the rise in energy prices and the weakening yen. They get most of their gas from, or they were getting most of their gas from Russia, that area, but of course they aren't doing that right now. So right now they have increased their gas and coal imports. Yeah, Japan's really getting big in coal again. From Australia for the coal, and gas and oil from the United Arab Emirates. So it's the 12th straight month, and it's the longest trade deficit since the 32 straight months of being in the red after the Tohoku big earthquake in 2011. So not great news there for the economy. Number 3, this is also not good news. This has really just been a big bummer of a day, hasn't it? Number 3, suicide rates have risen, or the rates, not the rates, but the suicide numbers rose by 8,000 people during the COVID era. And 20-year-old women were the ones that were most affected by this. So obviously, this is a survey by Todai, so like it's like Japan's Princeton. And yeah, so they're saying that the numbers rose per year, I'm guessing, by 8,000 people. I'm not sure what the time frame is. Okay, so they say from 2020, March of 2020 all the way to June of this year, so 3 years. So I guess they're going off of the rates and like a similar time period before that, I guess. So I guess in like the time frame, there's an extra 8,000 deaths by suicide, which is honestly less than I was expecting. People have obviously been affected by COVID in various ways, not just by getting the disease, but the social ramifications of all that. So, once again, if you're feeling if things are getting tough for you, there are help hotlines for you. I believe in America now it's 811 is the new suicide hotline. So if you're feeling like you need to talk to someone, please do. Tokyo, Japan, I'm not sure if it has a suicide hotline. If it does, it's probably like only 9 to 5 or something, because that's typically how all the helplines are here. It's always regular business hours, which doesn't seem very helpful, because just speaking from personal experience, I feel like you get more down, at least I do, at night. So hopefully, look, if you have problems, you can talk to me. I'm a good listener. I also like to talk a lot, but I'm a good listener, I promise. So yeah, those are the news stories for today. Not exactly a happy news day, but it's probably a bit more newsworthy, and there's very much a lot of actual news being covered today. So that's a welcome change from past days. Anyways, you can follow us here. Follow us on Twitter at small_in_Japan, or follow me on Twitter at Stefan_Tetsu. And of course, we have that Patreon that is currently under reconstruction at patreon.com/smallinjapan. Until tomorrow, I'm Stefan. Thank you guys so much for listening.